Hello and welcome everybody to this 8th episode of Trade Talks. I go about as Medici FX, and in this episode we've got a trader from Berlin. His name is Khaled. He's got experience in the retail as well as institutional aspect of trading, and in this podcast I'm going to be asking him about his journey and other various interesting questions which he could possibly answer for all of you guys as well as for me, as I'm really interested to know the answers to some of these actually. So, without a further ado, let's jump straight into the live podcast. See you there. Hope you guys enjoy it. So, welcome everybody to this 8th Trade Talk podcast. I'm here with Khaled. Thank you very much for joining this time. We're going to be going over some topics. He did institutional trading as well, so I'm really excited to talk about that in an aspect for you guys, and hopefully you guys learn something from this as well. So, welcome. My question to you is, how did you actually get an introduction to Forex, and what was your initial experience with Forex?
Well, first I got introduced to Forex by Sean Lee,
Right.
I've been following him on Instagram, seeing him how he's doing stuff, So I was like, okay, if he can do this,
Right.
I can do it as well.
Right.
So I just took it from there,
Mm-hmm.
Deposited my first $5,000 into my trading account.
Right.
Made tons of money my first month. Then lost everything during the same month. Went to hospital for 3 days because that loss was really tough,
Right.
Then I just took it from there, I knew there is something outside these books, like in the market. It's not just like these books, I got this strategy, this system, blah blah blah, I follow it.
Right.
There is something more about it.
Would you say you were gambling in the beginning with the $5,000?
100%, because my $5,000 made $45,000.
Oh wow.
Then I made $250,000 within the first month.
Right.
Then I lost everything,
Right.
in one day.
Right.
So that was definitely I even have a screenshot on my IG too.
Right.
From 2016, I guess.
Right.
When I was trading 100 lots or 200 lots.
Right. Wow.
So that was normal.
And you were trading every single pair, or were you only focused on a couple?
No, I was focusing on Euro USD. I don't know why, because I researched that, and it was volatile at that time.
Right.
So I was okay.
Yeah, so you kind of hopped onto it as well. Makes sense. For anyone getting into Forex, what's the biggest misconception maybe you even had, or the people that they have about Forex going into this? For me, for example, is that I'm going to make a lot of money real quick in the coming 5 years consistently on the spot, and I'm going to be living the dream really, really quickly. That was my misconception, to understand that. What was it for you, or what do you say that most people would have in that sense?
Expectations.
Mm-hmm.
For me was really expectations, because you're starting something, you have specific expectations for it.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you start and you get involved, the more you get involved too,
Right.
you'll be you start realizing that,
Right.
okay, I'm being unrealistic,
Right.
So it's about expectations.
Okay. So yeah, people with the unrealistic expectations, yeah, I saw it in myself as well.
Exactly. And then people tend to try to get rich quick,
Right.
when they don't even know what does it mean to have 20 grand sitting in your bank account,
And how do you tone it down then from that big ego kind of mind into being humble? Because I'm pretty sure you had to go through that as well, I suppose.
It's through my losses.
Right.
So I never traded a demo account in my life.
Right.
Never done that. Been always with my real money, because I always believed in being involved in the process,
Okay.
And while I'm being involved in the process, my psychology need to be triggered, my behavior too,
Right.
And I was journalizing all of my process too. Even I was journalizing the way I was thinking during this trade, what I
Right.
was thinking when I executed this trade too.
Right.
Then after this trade, okay, let's say that trade went against me. It's in a drawdown.
Right.
At that time, I didn't even have stop loss too. It went against me. Okay, what did I think at that time? How did I behave? Did I shake? Was I stressed?
Right.
So I used to just write everything and
O-
try like to find my mistakes and the loops that I keep on going over and over again, and fix them.
okay. And do you still journal up till now?
No, I don't really journal my trading anymore
Okay.
because it became a habit in my life.
Okay.
It's just like wherever I do, I keep on doing the same too. So there
Okay.
is nothing new. But what I do journal is like, yeah, my day, the
Okay.
knowledge I learn, especially like if I take a loss, I journal that loss. If I make a huge win,
Mm-hmm.
I'll journal it, like, yeah, just like for the fun of it, like to see what's different about it. And so.
Right. And that's like at the end of each day, right?
No, actually, I don't journal at the end of each day. No, I journal like at each moment.
Okay.
So let's say I took a trade now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this trade is going to be a win or a loss, right?
Okay.
So I don't journal my trades. I journal my trades at the end of the day. But let's say I did something today
Right.
that I didn't do before.
Okay.
So I'll journal it at the same time. I'll just like pick up my phone if I'm outside, write it down. When I go home, I'll just write it on my journal. If I had like a meeting with somebody, and I've acted like some kind of a weird way, or like letting my ego get in place in the middle of the conversation, I'll
Right.
just write it down too.
That's an interesting one because for me, for example, I only do it at the end and the beginning of the day. So that is definitely a new way of thinking I've never heard before doing. Do you have any like routines, daily routines, like if you wake up, any gratitude that you do, like regret meditation or like that sort of things? Do you believe in that? Do you do anything?
Okay, when it comes to my beliefs, it's a bit complicated.
Okay.
It's not a bit, it's really complicated.
Right.
So as I mentioned in the beginning, it's all about your mind. It's a state of mind.
Yes.
Everything is a state of mind. So if I'm grateful
Right.
for everything in my life, I don't really need to wake up in the morning, write a sticky note,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I'm grateful. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
To my person, that doesn't make sense. So I'm already grateful, and this kind of stuff, it's like you keep on growing and growing and growing. You keep on evolving and feeding your soul with these, like being grateful, like meditation too.
Right.
Like there are different ways to meditate too. There are different ways to manifest too, like, or visualize stuff too.
Right.
So what I tend to focus is I tend always to focus on my soul, and instead of materialistic stuff, machineries, or because that wasn't even my goal. My initial goal was like to be free and have the freedom to move around my time and do whatever I want to.
Okay. So you wouldn't say that writing down on a sticky note, you're grateful isn't another affirmation towards it? You wouldn't agree on that?
No, I wouldn't really agree on that because for me it means that, okay, I'm not pretty convinced enough, so I'm trying to plant this seed into my deep conscious mind, not even my subconscious mind, my deep consciousness. So I'm trying to just to plant it.
Right. But in the beginning, you did, or you
Never.
never. Okay.
Never.
Coming back to something that you mentioned earlier about demos. So you're categorically against demos?
100%.
Could you elaborate maybe?
Yeah, definitely. So when you're trading your real money, the way your psychology is involved in the process is totally different than demo account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you'll be behaving differently. You'll be thinking differently. The pressure on your head, the pressure on your consciousness, your awareness is 100% different too.
Mm-hmm.
The way you're risking your money, if it's on a demo account, bro, I don't care, man. I'll just like blew it in 1 hour.
Right.
I won't even like push stop losses, nothing. I've never tried it before,
Mm-hmm.
but I've done it on my real trading account. Like, yeah, just trading like, I don't know, like a rat.
Mm-hmm.
So like the psychology won't be the same too,
Right.
So you won't be even like taking it seriously. No matter who are you,
True.
it's not the same. Even if you're taking it seriously, you're following a strict system, following a strict trading plan,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. It's not the same. Once you're losing, you're not losing your money,
True.
Once you're making money, you're not making your money too.
Yeah.
So it's nothing, it's just there. Okay. And if it's about demo, no, I tend like to backtest on a software. So
Right.
I train my eyes,
Right.
my brain,
Yeah. Okay. And how much? What is a good what is a good amount for you personally to backtest a week? Would you say?
Nowadays, okay, for the last 6 months, I
Right.
didn't backtest anything at all. No, in fact, I backtested in March,
Okay.
like just played around. It's like Call of Duty for me to backtesting
Right.
because I just run the software and I start playing around with it.
Okay.
So it's like Call of Duty for me, just playing a game on my PS4.
Yeah.
So for the last 5 months, this I didn't backtest anything, but during the last 3 years, I used to backtest a minimum of 20 to 30 trades a day.
Okay.
So I'll just like sit in a session for 3 hours, backtest. I don't know. I've never like counted the numbers too. I'll just backtest and then see the performance at the end.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. See my winners, my losses, like, and see the odds. Like, okay, if I hit this win,
Right.
what were the odds that were on my side?
Right. Okay.
And then I kept it like from there. Took it simple, kept expanding from there.
Okay. Interesting. To go back to, you did a webinar yesterday, and you said something regarding risk and reward that you don't believe in it.
No, at all.
Could you explain that, please, to me?
Yeah, it's simple, man. So nothing on this planet is fixed, right?
Right.
If we are fixed, why do we get old? Why do we die? Right?
True.
Why do we learn? Why do we grow up? Why do we like develop in our lives?
Right.
Okay, and to apply this, to try to fix this market, to try to make this unique market with unique characteristics to fixed, then that doesn't really make sense. It's just like limiting your beliefs, limiting your abilities,
Okay.
limiting your brain power, because it's like you'll get used to this. Okay, I'm risking 1% today. I have this 1%. I want to risk. So I opened the deal. I saw a really nice deal. I opened the deal and I risked 1%. And I'll be like, okay, 3% is my TP.
Right.
But what if it didn't hit your 3%? What if it went to 2%,
Right.
then 1%, then it's stop loss. So what I saw like during my years is like it's either it hits a TP or a stop loss, like from people.
Right.
Then I was like, that doesn't really work like this. You need to manage your trades. You need to learn how to manage your trades, trade management.
Right.
It's the same, risk management, money management. I even call losses management too. Winners management too. It's like under trade management. A matter of managing your trades, and to manage your trades, you need to build strict foundations of skills. It's not easy, and you need to be aware of what's happening.
Right.
Because once you're aware of what's happening on the chart, it's easy and boring.
Yes,
I
true.
keep on saying that it's easy and boring.
True. Yep.
That's why I don't sit in front of my chart all the day. I don't do that. It's a maximum of 1 hour. Okay, I know the volume times. I know the distribution times. I'll just like go there, tack, 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 easy. I don't need to sit for hours a day in front of my chart too.
But you do monitor it through your phone or something to make sure that it's doing what you need to do, or how does that work?
Once I open the deal,
Right.
I'm on the deal, 100%. I don't move until it's above my entry. I'm in profit. My stop loss at break even. Then I'm good. The first goal is to protect my money.
Essentially, of course, because it's nice looking at profits, but you have to first look at your SL, or what you're willing to lose, because that's the worst case scenario.
Exactly.
I want to get into your institutional side for a second. We just said that institutional and retail is actually all myths. Once again, could you maybe repeat that for the people out there so they can understand what you mean by that?
Yeah, it's just a myth. Why is it a myth? Because it's limiting your beliefs. It's making you feel like trash. Excuse my French. And the only difference between institutional trading and retail trading is the data, and the
Right.
tools available for institutions too. When it's actually available for retail traders too, but they don't wanna like put the effort, put the energy in and research that, look for that, and they tend like willing to get everything for free too. When like okay, when I used to study in my school, when
Right.
they got us like okay, Bloomberg terminal,
Yeah.
bro, that Bloomberg terminal costs around 1,500 a month,
Yep.
but school got it for us.
Yeah.
Why? Because we need more data.
Right.
And if I can pay 1,500 a month to get all of the data I want, then I'm good with it too.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're saying that in institutional, for example, for institutional trading and institutions, people are kind of put in a position where they have this upper hand with information, but they're also pushed to use it.
Exactly. Because if you don't use it, then you're not going to outperform
Yeah.
in your field too. Because when it comes to trading any financial instrument, you're speculating. In fact, you're not like okay, you're taking your decision, but remember that in fact, in reality, originally your decision has 50-50%,
Yeah.
right? So it is a directional, it's like flipping a coin. Then once it keeps on increasing, once you keep on stacking the odds next to you, the more the odds are like in your favor, the more your success rate is going to be higher, right?
Correct.
So it is the same. So like for instance, like if I want to get through this too, it's like a long story if we just want to stick to this. So fundamental analysis, I don't believe in that too. I don't believe in technical analysis too. I don't believe in trading styles too.
Okay.
I believe like in skill set,
Right.
set of skills to be a
Okay.
trader. So you need to learn microeconomics. Why? Because you'll be gathering data for like 3 months, for a quarter, to speculate the next quarter too. So you'll like whatever happens, like these NFP, all of these news, they don't move the market. They'll just move the intraday trend,
But I mean,
A couple of
if you're trading on the intraday trade for intraday, then it is valuable to you, is it not?
yeah, but okay, why would I go through such what? Okay, wait, why am I so desperate to trade in news?
Because it can yield you profits.
It can and it cannot. Remember, there is slippage around it. There are a
Absolutely.
lot of errors around it too.
Absolutely.
So why would you be that desperate to trade in news? Unless you're like so desperate in making money in trading too.
I mean, you could trade, for example, interest rate decisions. That
Definitely.
right? That's also intraday.
But you cannot compare interest rate decisions with NFP.
No,
In
okay.
economics, the effect of interest rate is way more higher than NFP.
So then then you would say various news you could trade, various you wouldn't.
I wouldn't even trade in news at all, man.
So how long do your trades last then? If you're saying that we need to look at the different quarters for the analysis for the macroeconomics, like how long do your trades last if you're doing that kind of research?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something
Right.
about this. I'm gonna give you an answer about this. Although I'm always like kind of conservative about this, but just like giving it to you.
Thank you.
So about me myself, I've developed this into my life.
Right.
So I'm trading for my living first. Then I also want to invest too.
Yes.
So I don't want to just spend all of my money and then put some money in my bank account, then buy apartment.
Yeah.
No, I also want to invest too. So what I tend to do, I tend to scalp 90% of my time. Let's say 95% of my time. The holding period of each trade, like the average holding period of my trades, is around 3 to 4 minutes too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go through my highlights and my story, my account on Instagram, you'll see that trades on gold that I held for 2 years. If you recently following me, you'll see like, okay, I've been holding gold since for the last 3 days or 2 days, and I'm keeping it like over the weekend too.
Right. So then you.
So it depends too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what I want to do with it. It depends if I really catch a nice swing, a nice wave coming, you know.
Right.
So I'll just stick with it. And I tend to scalp more than swing trade because swing trading is boring. It's just fixed return. So I tend to scalp the whole swing and just like whatever like amount of pips that I'm going to make on this generate on this swing, I
Right.
just like triple it times 4 times 5 times 6.
Thing. So you kind of just get into a big, for example, opportunity, and then you scalp within that opportunity to even make more.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And your question was, how do I use microeconomics?
Yes.
So microeconomics is there to give me my bias too. Good. Or to give me my shifting points too. So if I got like certain news, certain economical statistical data for the next 3 months, that's showing some strength in the US dollar. So I'll be like, okay, there's going to be weakness in the gold market.
Right.
So now I need to look for my shift point too and start like shifting my bias, my
Right.
long-term bias, you know.
Yes.
And if you notice, I didn't sell gold once for the last 2 months. Why? Because I sold gold before yesterday, like 3 positions, and I got stopped out just to show people like it is an uptrend. Even though it went down, it is still an uptrend.
Right. I mean, it makes sense with everything that's going on right now.
Especially gold too, because it's so volatile. The volume is so high there, so it doesn't make sense, you know.
And then this shifts into emotions, right? How do you manage emotions during trades? It's a question that everybody asks. Every single person gets the question. How do you manage emotions? How do you keep calm? I'm gonna ask it to you anyways. How do you manage your emotions?
Okay, that's I don't know what to tell you about this because I don't really have that much emotions to left
Right.
because I've struggled enough. I've felt like painful enough to.
Right.
So I don't really have that much emotion to like that suffering emotion, you know,
Right.
to give, you know. Like for instance, I still like have my personal emotions, which is like love to be loved and like all of my soulness emotions, you know.
Right.
But once it comes to pain, greed, you know, like being like discouraged and stuff, I don't really have that, you know.
It's because you've been through so much already.
Yeah, because it's like nothing I'm going through, you know, is going to bring me where I were, exactly where I was, sorry.
Right.
And what I've been through is like I'm pretty sure it was my peak point too, you know.
Right.
No matter I do in my life, I'm not going to touch that peak point again in my life, you know. My emotions, they have nothing to do with like my trading at all. Even if even if I lose money, I don't be like frustrated.
I mean, it's part of the game.
It's like no, for me especially like I don't know. For me like for my data, for my statistics, I'm right about 80 to 90% of the time. Honestly, it's like around 88%, but I keep on saying like it's 80 to 92
Right.
because it ranges from 80 to 90, you know.
Makes sense.
So once I lose, it's like an indication, you know.
Mm-hmm. An
So I
indication
just pay
towards.
attention for that indication.
Indication towards.
Towards, okay, I might did something wrong. I wasn't going with the flow. My
Right.
elements weren't aligned, you know.
Right. Okay.
And I maybe like I'm just not focused.
Yeah, could be a possibility as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at it, like for the last 3 4 months, no, actually for the last year, I didn't even have a single losing day. So once, if I'm going to have a losing day, I'll be like, okay, my edge doesn't even allow me to lose a day.
Right.
So why did I lose it then? I don't have a losing week too, you know. So if I lose a week, okay, there is something wrong I've done, sorry. So it's just like a matter of being dynamic too,
Right.
into like through your process.
Dynamic and adapt to the situation and such. Um.
A dynamic way,
Right.
dynamical way.
Okay. So two questions arising from this. Would you say that you being prior in the institutional sector as work did influence you to become less emotionless or not?
Yeah, exactly. You know why?
No.
Because when I got hired, I took the dealing accounts for the broker
Right.
after like 3 4 days, which is like I took a lot of places to
Right.
other places. So I was like managing some really good amount of money.
Right.
Then I have all of this data in front of me. I had like around 3,000 traders in front of me,
Right.
taking their positions, taking everything. So I started like categorizing them too. Then I then I was like, damn man, I used to see people losing millions too. Like within a couple of minutes just selling gold, dropping like 100 lots 3 times, 4 times. I don't know. Within like a couple of minutes, gold will just push up 300 pips, 500 pips, and
Right.
boom, nothing left. So that actually triggered something inside me too, which is like, I say, okay, it is what it is, first. Then second, I'm not risking my money too. Was okay, if a trader if like let's say a B trader
Yeah.
is what? Is executing a trade. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't need to risk my money on him. But if a trader like me executing a trade, no, I gotta pass that trade too. So, but okay, during passing these trades too, I gotta take a better entry too, you know. And once you trade for a broker, once you deal for a broker, you don't use a stop loss even too.
Yeah.
So you just like start to being like a robot.
Right.
You're just like being a robot.
And you're just doing the same thing over again.
Yeah, you just like the same boring stuff over and over again.
And that's what you took into what you're doing now, in a sense. Because I can see that on your Instagram. You're doing the exact same thing day in, day out, and it's just working for you. You're not switching anything. You're not, you know?
The same thing I got hired for is where I am today.
Right.
So, okay, I learned stuff from there, definitely. But what I've learned there is like what's happening on the other side of my chart. That's it.
Okay.
But when it comes to my skill, to my trading, to my mind toughness, or like to the way I think, I didn't really change that much too.
Okay.
Because I wasn't even convinced about the policy until I changed the policy too.
And did you trade prior getting into that job or not?
Yeah, definitely. I got hired because of my track record.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Is there days when you decide not to trade, or is it an ongoing flow for you?
That's a nice question. Honestly, I've never asked myself this question before. So it actually triggered something inside me, like it triggered confusion inside me to think about it.
Right.
In fact, like, no, I just trade when I want to trade.
Okay.
I just trade when I see like, okay, market is trending, there's some nice opportunities. Why waste it? And if you notice that whenever gold is chilling, I'll be just chilling too.
Yeah.
So it's more about the market than it's more about me. Or then if I have so much on my plate, and I'm not focused enough, like during my exams, let's say I'm about to graduate now,
Right.
so I don't have anything else to do except trading. So if I have like exams, or if I have like a couple of meetings in my company too, or if I'm having like clients coming from Jordan to Germany, so I gotta host them, show them around,
Right.
and like take them to your houses and stuff, because I have a tourism company too and a consultancy. So I tend not to trade because I'm not focused enough. And I
Right.
don't want to just trade for the sake of trading too.
Makes sense.
It is my job too.
Yeah.
It is like a part of my life too. So it's not something I have to do when I want to do it.
Right.
It is just something I do when I have the state mind to do it, like the mind state to do it.
Right. Because I also heard a couple of traders, successful traders, say that if you don't manage your time on screen and your time with the markets, it will literally drain your energy out of you, and it won't.
Exactly.
You
Then
agree
you'll
on
have
that?
like just 15 years. So let's assume that you're a full-time trader. You sit on that chart for 9 hours a day or 8 hours a day.
Right.
Then you start calculating from the starting point 15 years. After 15 years, you gotta quit.
Okay. Wow.
Research it.
Okay. I
So
didn't
what
know
I
about
tend
that.
to do, I just spend a couple of hours a day, like an hour.
Right.
Like my analysis, it's like it takes less than 1 minute.
But that's essentially because you trained your eye already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take that much time, and then I already know where to buy, when to sell.
Makes sense. Yeah, because you're with one with flow with the market.
Exactly. So it's just like, yeah, it depends if I'm over trading too, which I don't really believe in that concept too, but it's kind of true if you're losing money and if you know how to manage your money too and your trades. So if I'm over trading, or like this month, I've been experimenting a lot too. So you'll see me like executing, I don't know, 20, 40 trades a day.
Okay.
Like independent trades, not the same positions, not the same entries, not the same, just like different positions, different entries and so on.
And how is it going for you?
Amazing.
Okay.
It's just like I was trying to eliminate some of the retail trading beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
that they've been triggered in since I've got into trading, because I've been always following Sean Lee,
Right.
learning from his journey too, while
Right.
learning from my journey. When looking at everybody else, is just attacking Sean,
Yeah.
and trashing him with like, what's he doing.
Yeah.
Especially what happened with his track record too, like when he made like 750 grand,
Yeah. From the
and he
5 grand.
withdrew like 100. Yeah, and I was like, people like tend to be trash too, because you you focus on him, like on him that he blew the money,
Right.
but you didn't focus on that dude that he made from 5 grand 750 grand, and he withdrew 100 grands too.
Yeah. But I mean,
So that doesn't make sense too, bro.
but most people, anyways, like talking about others and looking at others instead of themselves.
Exactly, and that's annoying too.
Yeah.
So I have all of these gurus,
Yeah.
who use like to follow me, and I've like 100% been blocked, by them because I ain't got chill.
Yeah.
And I'm an OG in this market too.
Right.
And I'll be looking like, dude, man, you just trash, man.
Right. Yeah.
Like I really get irritated by this because it is what it is at the end of the day. But if you look at it, you're teaching fake knowledge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off, especially after I worked for a broker and I've seen how it's done actually in reality.
Right.
That we hire educators that they don't have shit to do with trading. They don't know shit about trading too. They just learn a couple of books, take this like CFI or whatever, like certified technical analyst or something, like this.
Right.
And be like, yeah, it's going up, going down, use this, use that. Dude, have you even made money out of this? Okay, if you made money, why are you like an educator in my broker? Why aren't you a dealer? Why aren't you a dealer taking your decisions, or a risk manager
Right.
in my department? So this is really annoys me. And what annoys me too, that people, they don't know anything about the dark side of this market.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the dark side about owning a broker, what you can do with it. There is a lot of myths about brokers, like the broker is a devil, when it's not too. A regulated broker I'm talking about.
Right.
So there is a lot of misconceptions.
And in what sense would you say? Maybe elaborate on that about the B booking.
So people have this vision
Right.
about the broker that, okay, once I'm buying, the broker is taking the exact opposite direction or opposite side of my deal.
Right.
When it's not true. I'm not allowed to do that. I would love to do that. I would 100% love to do that.
Right.
But legally, I'm not allowed. Ethically, I'm not allowed.
Okay.
So the whole, like, the main difference between an A book broker and a B book broker, is like the business models. A book broker will just pass your like trades, your deals. So there is no risk on them. There is no risk associated with their business model. Why? Because they are just passing it to liquidity providers, and
Yeah.
they're charging you commissions too. But when a B-book broker is not passing it to, and they're just like the market maker or liquidity provider of themselves too, so they're like the whole risk is associated with their business model. And at the end of the day, there is a hybrid broker too, which is what? Which is I categorize my traders to, because even the percentage that 73% or like 80% lose money, no, it's 100% loses money too. I've seen it, I've seen people making $100,000, and losing it within like a couple of months too. So everybody loses too
Absolutely.
at the end of the day.
Right.
So you got this hybrid broker, which is their business model is to categorize traders. So I got like a really profitable trader, a consistent trader who's always making money and being rational with his money too.
Yeah.
So I won't take his risk, I'll just pass it.
Makes sense.
Then I got like the traders who keep on losing, So I'll just like, take their risk. Okay, I lose 50, 60, 100 grands, but it's okay if I'm making like 10 millions too. So it is about who needs who too, It's about needs too, because I need the broker to execute my trades, and the broker needs me to operate. And for regulated environment, it is just, man, if you do something wrong, regulatories aren't gonna chill on you, man. Especially in the financial market, they'll just hunt you and take most of your money.
A final question on everything you just said is, do you reckon that it's important to get a formal education in order to step into this field properly and to actually be profitable and live off of this?
So I'm gonna tell you something about this.
Okay.
So I recently like released my program, right? And I've closed it already. Like I already got like my team.
Right.
I'm going to focus on them, and so the soul of my program was like to train traders for 6 months. Why 6 months? Because I'm going to teach them everything, So we're going to build set of foundations for set of skills too,
Right.
Because for instance, like in my knowledge, I learned economics, finance, behavioral trading, and I've developed all of these concepts into my trading edge, my trading style. So it is really important for you to learn, to educate yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you need to go to school to educate yourself.
Okay.
But you need to spend some time too. You need to really invest your time. Okay, I have one dude like this. He's following me on Instagram. He texted me like a while ago. I see potential in him. He's really good. He's also one of my team. Like he's a part of my team too. So he texted me a while ago, like 1 month ago, and he was like, I'm dropping out of school. I was like, don't do that.
Okay.
I'm not trying to judge you here or tell you what to do, but don't do that. He was, why? Because I told him you need to learn about businesses. You need to learn about marketing, about management. You need to learn about microeconomics. You need to learn about statistics too. You need to learn about all of this stuff. He was like, I can learn them by myself. I was like, if you can learn them by yourself, then it's going to be faster too.
Formal education creates discipline. That's one thing that I'll give it, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've struggled for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
I've struggled for 3 years studying in a private university that they don't appreciate that I'm a trader, although everybody knows that I'm a trader there and I make money, I'm living out of my trading, but I cannot miss my lecture too. So I love to trade the overlap. I'll be sitting in my lecture, and trading, and I lost a lot of money just doing that in my lecture, especially in my languages lectures, like when I was studying Spanish. Languages teachers, bro, they are like assholes too. They don't appreciate anything. They just got this literature, and literature is like life, So it was a struggle too,
Right.
but I'm done with it now.
Right. Okay.
Just going all in and trading now.
Interesting, man. I appreciate you sharing all of this with us.
It's okay, man. I have nothing to keep to myself, man. I'm just going to die at the end, you know.
I mean,
So
all of us
why
will.
just keep it to myself?
I get you there. Would you want to end it off maybe with some tips or something for anyone starting out or someone in this business as a last note?
I'll be like, evolve, feed your soul, be real too,
Mm-hmm.
learn, invest in yourself more than investing in your trading account, because no matter how money you're going to feed your trading account, you're gonna blow it, you know.
Right.
Exactly. So you need to learn. Learning is going to take you some time, you know, but you need to watch charts too. I used to watch charts more than I watch movies, you know, for the last 6 years. Just look at charts, how they just develop, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a,
Easy. Then you don't even need a story. Then you don't need, even need a strategy. Why? Because your brain will start functioning, you know, by itself. You know, your brain will start telling you what to do too.
yeah. No, that's good tips, and I hope you guys learn from it as well. Once again, I appreciate you joining. And I'll drop down your Instagram in the description of this podcast as well for everyone interested. In fact, Khaled also has a book, Gold Alchemist. It's a really interesting one. I started reading it, so I'll drop a link of that as well if Khaled wants to maybe talk about that. If not,
Yeah, just give it to everybody.
perfect.
I don't mind, man. I just gave it for free for a reason, like, yeah, to spread the knowledge.
Right.
And I didn't even talk about strategies or technical analysis that much, because I focus on the foundation of trading knowledge too. Because you'll jump on gold. You want to trade gold and you don't even know anything about gold too. That doesn't make sense too.
No, absolutely. No, with anything, right? When people jump onto, for example, Euro CAD, Euro dollar, whatever, and they don't know anything about the dollar or the euro, and they're like, why is it going up? Why is it going down?
Like, I still remember like the time when I used to gamble, you know, like on euro, when I made a lot of money, lost it, went to hospital. I was trading Euro USD because, okay, I didn't know anything about trading, you know, and strategies, whatever, like skills, setups, all of this, you know, risk management.
Yeah.
But I researched it, you know,
Yeah.
and I've seen like, okay, euro is going to to strength, you know, like against that dollar too. So I was like, it's going to go up.
Yeah. So you
So
bought.
that's like a part of what I got lucky to, because I was just buying. I didn't even have one single sell. I was just buying euro dollar, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
randomly buying euro dollars.
I mean, be it luck or be it, be it luck or be it whatever, you still kind of use some kind of logic, you know?
Exactly, you know.
It's important, not just blindly poking in the dark. Well, yeah, appreciate it once again. For everyone out there, stay tuned. There's more to come. And I'll see you guys on the next podcast.